I threw myself a birthday party, invited everyone but my girlfriend, now she's ghosting me. So yeah, I, 28M, threw myself a birthday party last weekend, and I didn't invite my girlfriend, 27F. Before y'all freak out, just let me explain. I've been with Sarah for about a year now. Things have been good, not amazing, not terrible, just solid. We see each other a couple times a week, usually weekends, and she's close with my sister. We've done the whole meet the family thing on both sides. We've been to weddings together. We talk about moving in someday. We've been real adulting kind of couple, you know? Anyway, my birthday landed on a Saturday this year, and I really wanted to do something fun but low-key, just with my core group of friends, like back in college. No pressure, no couples vibes, no feeling like I had to smile at the bartender because my girlfriend smiled first. Just dudes being dumb at a dive bar, watching the game, drinking too much, and maybe doing karaoke. That kind of night I haven't had in forever, since my senior prank or whatever. Leading up to that week, I was stressing a bit under the surface. Sarah's been great, supportive, and really level-headed. But I started feeling like I'd been playing the role of good boyfriend so much that I forgot who I was. I used to be Mike, quick to laugh, bad dance moves, shotgun beers on rooftops with Rob, lip-syncing to throwback hits, and doing stupid accents. I loved that version of me. So I silently planned the night with the guys. I told Sarah I was going out for my birthday, just didn't mention I was hosting anything or that it was gonna be a party. I figured, I'll do this boys' night, come back next day, get a little sorry face going, buy her flowers or something, and we'll have our quiet dinner. Honestly, I didn't think she'd care that much. She's not hugely into birthdays, especially mine. She once told me our anniversary felt forced, so she really didn't make a big deal of it. So I thought it'd be fine. Well, spoiler, she found out. Rob's girlfriend posted a story the night before at the bar, one of those boomerangs showing a neon sign birthday bash tomorrow, with me holding a fake mustache. Sarah saw it and texted me. Hey! Are you having a party tomorrow? I froze. I hadn't planned on telling her. I typed back. Yeah, just a chill thing at Johnny's with the guys. You know, old school stuff. She responded. Cool. Have fun. No emoji. No ah. No sure. Just that. Stiff. I told her we could do something later. I said I just wanted this to be a throwback night, like reclaiming a bit of college freedom. She typed back, it's your birthday, do what you want. I took that as indifference. I honestly convinced myself she wasn't hurt. Maybe slightly let down, but overall chill. I figured I'd say sorry, plan a date Sunday, maybe breakfast in bed or Netflix easy. So Saturday came. I meet up with Rob, Kyle, Marcus, Tommy, and some others from our fantasy football league at Johnny's bar around 7 p.m. The place had that dim, beer-stained wooden vibe, neon lights, and a jukebox playing classic rock. Perfect. Rob's girlfriend crashes it an hour later with a couple of other girls, totally unexpected, but actually kind of cool. Everyone's buzzing over shot ski of tequila, laughter echoing through the bar. I jump into karaoke, I butcher Mr. Brightside. It's glorious. Someone spills beer on my shoe, I don't even care. It's perfect. We end with greasy wings, fries, and a loud Uber ride home with Kyle nearly throwing up out the window. Classic. Fast forward to 3 a.m., I collapse on my couch, buzzing, ears still ringing with laughter. My phone buzzed at 2:45. Rob's story tagged me, captioned B-Day legend. I open Instagram, I'm standing under a flashing neon light, beer in one hand, mic in another. Everyone's there, girls, dudes, chaos. Pure contrast to my home, where Sarah's spot on the couch is empty. Next morning, pounding head, mild regret. I check stories again, yep, the full documentation. Cake, balloons, frat boy circle. Me laughing, hugging Rob, definitely not Sarah. Poof. At 11 a.m., she shows up. Knock knock. I open the door. She has a small gift bag and a homemade card with confetti inside. She smiles a little, but her eyes are quiet. My heart fucking sinks. And that's where I left off. I'm sitting on the edge of the couch, and she's standing there. Card unopened. Gift bag in hand. And I'm thinking, crap. What do I even say? She stood in the doorway holding the little gift bag like it weighed more than it should have. Her shoulders were tight, like she was bracing for something. I hadn't expected her to show up. I figured maybe a text, maybe nothing. But there she was, with a handmade card and a bag that looked like it came from the same boutique where she got me socks for Christmas. She always gave thoughtful gifts, not flashy ones. I opened the door and said, "Hey, you didn't have to come." She handed me the bag, barely looking at me. "I wanted to," she said, calm and flat. Her voice didn't have the usual upward lilt at the end like it does when she's trying to sound cheerful. It was just, straight. Final. I took the bag and tried to act casual. I opened it right there, feeling like a kid caught sneaking out. Inside was a black t-shirt from that indie band we saw in September, the one where we got soaked in the rain and she made fun of my wet hair for 2 hours after. Under the shirt, a folded card. I opened it. Handmade, all right. She cut out little pieces of colored paper, drawn a silly cartoon version of me holding a mic and a beer, and pasted in a few inside jokes we had. Stuff from texts, voice memos, the dumb meme I once made of my face on a raccoon. It hit me harder than I thought it would. I smiled, then looked up to thank her, but she'd already walked past me into the living room and was sitting on the far edge of the couch, like someone in a doctor's office waiting for bad news. Arms crossed, eyes scanning my bookshelves like she'd never seen them before. I stood there for a second, card still in my hand, trying to figure out what I was supposed to say. I sat down across from her and said, "Late night. Sorry if I didn't text." She nodded. I saw the stories. Looked like fun. I winced. Yeah. It kind of got out of control. You know how Rob gets. I do, she said quietly. You didn't invite me. That part didn't come with build-up. No dramatic pause. No hint of a joke. Just that. Matter of fact. I didn't mean anything by it, I said, instantly defensive. It was just a guy night. A throwback thing. She stared at me. But it wasn't just guys. I saw 3 girlfriends, plus that girl in the red dress who was dancing on the table. I felt heat crawl up my neck. Okay, yeah, some people brought others. I didn't plan that. But you planned not to invite me, she said, voice still calm. That wasn't an accident. That line hit hard because it was true. I didn't forget. I didn't overlook. I decided not to ask her. I sighed. I needed one night to just breathe. To not be someone's boyfriend. I wanted to go dumb and drink too much and not have to think about what anyone else needed. You think I make you think too much? She asked. Her voice was still soft, but there was a sharpness creeping in. You think being with me is work? No, I said quickly. It's not that. I needed a reset. I wanted to hang with the guys and not worry about anything. That's all. You think I would have ruined that? I hesitated, and that was my mistake. Wow, she said. You really do. I tried to fix it. No, Sarah, it's not like that. You wouldn't ruin anything. I didn't want to be on. You know? I didn't want to think about being considerate or checking in. I wanted to be a little selfish. Well, congrats, she said. You nailed that. That stung more than I thought it would. I looked down at the card in my lap, The stupid cartoon of me with the beer. The little jokes she pasted in. I didn't mean to hurt you, I said. But you did, she replied. And what's worse? You don't even think it was a big deal. I opened my mouth to argue, but nothing came out. Because deep down, part of me really didn't think it was that serious. I mean, it's one party, right? One night? But to her, it wasn't just the night. It was what it meant. That I didn't want her there. That I didn't want her to be part of the messy, unfiltered parts of me. She stood up. I'm not mad you wanted to hang with your friends, Mike. I'm mad you lied by omission. I'm mad I had to find out from someone else. I'm mad you made me feel like I'm not part of your life when it's inconvenient. Sarah, I said, standing too. Let's do something today. Just us. I'll make it up to you. She shook her head. You don't get to fix it with brunch and flowers. This isn't just about yesterday. It's about a pattern. That froze me. What pattern? I asked, but I already kind of knew. She grabbed her keys. You compartmentalize. You keep your fun life and your relationship life separate. And I'm tired of being a background character in yours. She laughed. Just walked out. No hug, no kiss, no final look. Just the sound of the door closing. I stood there for a long time. Later that day, I texted her. I'm sorry. I really messed this up. She read it. No reply. Sunday night came and went without another word from her. Monday, I went to work like everything was normal. I sat at my desk, typed emails, took a Zoom call with a frozen smile, and scrolled Instagram every 10 minutes hoping for a sign. Nothing. No stories. No selfies. No passive-aggressive quotes. Just radio silence. It wasn't like her. Even when she was upset, she'd usually let me know. A snarky text. A short K. A we need to talk message. This was different. This felt final, like she'd already made up her mind and was just waiting for me to figure it out. Tuesday I caved and called her. Went to voicemail after 2 rings. I didn't leave a message. I felt too stupid, too unsure what I'd even say. Hey, sorry I excluded you from my life and then doubled down on it when you called me out. Didn't quite fit in a 30-second recording. I messaged her later. Can we talk? Left on read. That night, Rob invited me out for a drink. I hesitated, then said yes. Maybe being around someone who wasn't mad at me would help. Maybe if I acted normal, things would feel normal. We met at the usual spot, the same place where my birthday had happened just 3 nights earlier. It already felt like a weird memory, like a scene from a movie I'd watched hungover. We grabbed a booth. Ordered beers. Rob didn't mention Sarah right away. Eventually he said, "You too good?" I took a sip and said, "Not really. She's not talking to me." "Yeah," he said slowly. I kind of figured. She looked pretty upset that day. I didn't want to say anything, but she DM'd Becca. Becca? My girlfriend, he clarified. Said she didn't know you were having a full-on party. Thought it was just you and the guys. Becca didn't realize Sarah hadn't been invited. I felt like a total asshole all over again. I thought I was being clever, preserving my me time, but everyone else assumed she was just running late or didn't feel like coming. Nobody knew I'd kept her out on purpose. You think I screwed it up? I asked. Rob shrugged. I mean, yeah. A little. But people fight. You just gotta show up now. Like, really show up. What does that even mean? I don't know, dude, he said. But if you act like she's just overreacting, she's not coming back. I've seen it happen. I nodded, not because I agreed, but because I didn't have anything better to say. Later that night, back home, I opened her card again. Read it slowly. She'd written, "You make me laugh more than anyone. I hope you always feel celebrated. I love you, Mike." That was the first time she'd written "I love you." She'd never said it out loud, but I knew that line meant something. She wouldn't have written it if she didn't mean it. And I didn't say it back. Not even in my head. Not even when I read it the first time. That part stuck in my chest like a stone. Wednesday, I didn't hear from her. Thursday, nothing. Friday, Becca posted a photo of her and Sarah at a wine bar. Sarah was smiling, but not in a look what you're missing kind of way. It was just soft. Tired. She looked smaller somehow. That made it worse. I didn't comment. I didn't message. I just stared at the picture for a long time. Tried to remember if I'd ever made her look that genuinely relaxed in a photo. Maybe once. Maybe never. By Saturday, a full week after my birthday, I was unraveling. My apartment felt too quiet. Every time I reached for my phone, I hoped her name would be there. I wanted to show up at her door. I wanted to bring her coffee, flowers, the dumb socks she said she liked last winter. But I also knew if I showed up without her asking, it might come off as pressure. As another way to bulldoze past her feelings. So I waited. I waited and I hated every minute of it. Then Sunday morning, exactly a week after she dropped off that gift, I got a message. "Can we meet? Just to talk." My heart slammed into my chest. I replied immediately. Yes. Anytime. Today. 4 p.m., that cafe near the park. I got there early. Like, way too early. I parked across the street and sat in my car for 20 minutes, just watching the front of the cafe like I was staking it out. At 3:45, I finally went in. Picked a table near the back, away from the windows, and ordered an iced coffee I didn't really want. My leg wouldn't stop bouncing. I kept looking at the door, heart racing every time it opened. Finally, at 4:03, she walked in. Sarah looked good, but not in the dressed-up-for-a-date kind of way. Just natural. Jeans, loose sweater, no makeup. Her hair was down, a little frizzy from the humidity. She looked like someone who wasn't trying to impress me anymore, and that hurt more than I expected. She spotted me, walked over, and sat down without a word. No hug. No smile. Just a quiet hey. Hey, I said back. We both stared at the table for a second. Then she looked up and said, "Thanks for coming." "Of course," I said. "Thank you for, giving me a chance." She nodded slowly. "Then, this isn't a chance. It's a conversation." "Fair enough." I took a breath. "I know I hurt you. And I'm sorry. I thought I was doing something harmless, and I wasn't. I get that now." She didn't interrupt. She let me speak. "I thought I needed space or freedom or whatever, but what I actually did was tell you, without saying it, that you don't belong in certain parts of my life. And that sucks. That's not who I want to be." Still nothing from her. I was talking into silence. Not angry silence. Not cold. Just silence with weight behind it. Finally, she spoke. "You didn't just leave me out of a party," she said. "You made me feel like an outsider in my own relationship." I nodded. "I know. And when I told you that, you tried to justify it. You made me explain why I was hurt. Like I had to earn being respected." That part hit hard. Because yeah, I did exactly that. I didn't say, "Wow, I fucked up." I said, "Here's why it wasn't so bad." She took a deep breath. "You've done that a few times, you know. I looked up. What do you mean? She counted on her fingers. That concert where you forgot to grab me a ticket until the day before. That brunch where you invited your friends last minute and didn't tell me. The trip to your brother's where you left me out of the group text. Damn. She was right. All these little things I'd brushed off as mistakes or miscommunications, they were a pattern to her. To me, they were small. To her, they said something bigger, that she wasn't really a part of my plans. I wasn't trying to push you out, I said. I swear. But you weren't pulling me in either, she said. We sat in silence again. I sipped the coffee. It was warm now, watered down. She finally said, I love you, Mike. I meant that. I wrote it in that card because I thought we were going somewhere. I looked her in the eye. I love you too. I've been scared to say it, but I do. She blinked, and for a second I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd smile. But she didn't. She leaned back. I believe you. But love's not enough if I'm the only one showing up for it. I swallowed hard. So, what does that mean? She looked at me. Really looked. It means I'm not ready to come back. Not yet. I felt my chest tighten. I need to know you're someone I can count on, she said. Not just when it's easy or fun, but when it's inconvenient. When it means putting your ego down. When it means showing up even if you don't feel like it. I can be that, I said quickly. I want to be that. She gave me a look, not cold, not angry, but tired. Then show me. Don't tell me. I wanted to ask her what that looked like. If there was a test. A timeline. A way to prove it. But I knew better. She didn't owe me that. If I needed instructions to treat her right, I probably didn't deserve her in the first place. We finished our drinks in silence. Then she stood up and said, Take care of yourself, Mike. You too, I said, standing with her. She walked out. I didn't follow. Didn't beg. Just watched her disappear into the street crowd, like a scene fading in slow motion. I sat back down and stared at the empty seat across from me. For the first time all week, I didn't feel like I was waiting. I felt like I was grieving something that might already be gone. Days passed. I didn't message her again. Not because I didn't want to, but because I heard her loud and clear. Show me. Don't tell me. That echoed in my head like a ringtone I couldn't silence. And the truth? I didn't know what showing her looked like anymore. It wasn't flowers. It wasn't some grand gesture. She'd seen the way I compartmentalized everything. She felt the distance I swore didn't exist. How do you undo that? You can't. So I just lived with it. My apartment felt haunted. Her coffee mug still sat on my shelf, the yellow one with the chipped handle. A hoodie of hers was folded at the end of my couch. I go to brush my teeth and see her extra toothbrush in the holder. For days I kept expecting a message to pop up. Something casual, maybe even sarcastic. You still alive? Or don't forget your rent's due, dumbass. But it never came. Instead, life kept moving without her. I ran into Becca at a grocery store. We exchanged awkward hellos in the produce aisle. She didn't ask how I was doing, which told me she already knew. She did say Sarah had started going to therapy again. That she was recentering. Whatever that meant. I nodded. Didn't press. The guys noticed I was quieter. Rob asked if I wanted to join for poker night. I said no. Kyle invited me to a beach weekend. I ghosted the group chat. I didn't want noise. I wanted clarity. And it came one night, or at least a piece of it did, in the most mundane way. I was scrolling through my old photos, looking for something totally unrelated, when I stumbled across a picture of us. It wasn't even a good one. We were sitting on a curb outside a taco truck, halfway through margaritas. She had guac on her shirt, I had salsa on my cheek. We looked tired. Slightly drunk. But we were laughing. Laughing like there was no world outside that frame. That's when it hit me, the party wasn't the problem. It was the decision, not just that night, but 100 small ones before it, to protect some version of myself that I thought she wouldn't accept. The unfiltered, uncurated, messy me. The guy who says dumb things and doesn't always think. And the irony? That was the guy she liked. That was the guy in that photo. But I didn't trust her with all of me. And so I lost her. The realization wasn't cinematic. There was no swelling music. Just me, sitting on my bed, holding my phone and whispering fuck to an empty room. A week later, I passed by that same cafe near the park. On impulse, I went in. Same corner table. Same iced coffee. This time I didn't fidget. I just sat there and let the moment happen. And then I did something I hadn't done in a while. I wrote her a letter. Not a text. Not a note in her DMs. A real letter. On paper. It wasn't a plea. It wasn't some dramatic apology. It was just me. Messy, honest, scared, trying to be better. I told her I was working on the part of me that thought relationships had off-limits zones. I told her I missed her laugh. I told her the guy on the curb still exists. And I ended it with, I don't expect anything. But if you ever want to share space again, I'd be grateful. I didn't know if she'd read it. I dropped it off at her apartment mailbox and walked away. That was 2 weeks ago. She hasn't replied. Sometimes I check her socials, but I don't click. I don't message. I don't linger. Instead, I've started going to therapy myself. Not because I want to get her back, but because I'm tired of building fences inside my own life. I'm tired of acting like love is a risk I can manage like a bank account. It's not. It's vulnerability, all in. And if I ever get another shot at it with her, or anyone, I want to be the guy who shows up fully. Still, sometimes late at night, I catch myself rereading the card she made me. And for a second, I think, maybe she's rereading something too. Maybe. Aita? I didn't think so at first. But now. Yeah. I was. And I just hope it's not too late to stop being that guy.